Hi, good afternoon. I'd like to welcome you to Poem Praise 2. I do thank you for tuning in, and peace and blessings be upon you and your family this afternoon. Now let us go ahead and get right back into No Man Can Hinder Me. We're in chapter number 21, which is entitled The Bombing of Americans. So without further ado, let us go ahead and read this quick chapter for you. And it goes like this. The USO brought a show to the base for white soldiers only because mixing of the races was illegal in Oklahoma. The black soldiers really wanted to attend, and they came to me for a solution. As the top non-commissioned officer, I had the keys to the rifle rack. The night of the show, I positioned 80 armed men behind rocks near the entrance of the building where the show was to be performed. When the white soldiers showed up, I advised them orders had been issued bearing their attendance at the show. They angrily rushed to military police, the MP, headquarters, to complain and return with a jeep which contained 4 MPs. The MPs asked, "Who gave the order?" And I took the responsibility. As the MPs moved to take me into custody, I raised my hand, and the loud clicks of 80 rifle bolts shattered the summer night. Negotiations ensued. Negotiations ensued. Excuse me on that word. ENSUED. And finally, the black troops were allowed to enter the building, but they were not allowed to sit on the same side with whites. That was the first unofficial act of integration at Camp Gruber. I was demoted 1 rank to tech sergeant of my role in the fight for equality. Later, I had a second brush with the MPs when I refused to sit in the back of a Muskogee public bus, which was leased to the Army. I received an official reprimand from the company commander, who was getting more than a bit weary of my militancy. While stationed at Camp Gruber, I visited Greenwood, Oklahoma, an all-black city that was the scene of a horrific invasion by whites that killed over 300 African Americans and left more than 4,000 residents homeless. Greenwood, which is near Tulsa, was known as the Black Wall Street in 1921. The city boasted 15 grocery stores, 2 movie theaters, several banks, 13 churches, and numerous black-owned businesses. The town had become arguably the most economically prosperous black community in the United States. Greenwood's prosperity drew the ire of a neighboring all-white community and led to a great deal of animosity. using a trumped up, unfounded charge of a white woman raped by a black man as revenge. The whites burned 35 Greenwood city blocks to the ground, partially by dropping bombs from planes. It was the first bombing of Americans by Americans in United States history. In addition, the whites challenged the rebuilding efforts of Greenwood by refusing needed supplies. But Greenwood residents found a way to rebuild because, to paraphrase the words of the old African American spiritual, no man can hinder us. I considered it a profound and historical opportunity to be able to speak with the survivors of that atrocity, which occurred only 21 years before my visit. It was yet another experience that would influence my future life's work. Then romance entered the picture. That does complete chapter 21. So stay tuned to chapter 22, Career-Ending Pain. So until then, it be it thy will that I will speak with you. I want you to be well, take care, and later, y'all.